Hello and welcome. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We are broadcasting live from Abuja. I am Chinenye Moye. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and on all our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. President Bola Tinubu has urged the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Joash Ojo Amuito, to protect and improve on the integrity of the electoral process in Nigeria for the development of democracy in the country. President Tinubu threw the challenge as he inaugurated the new chairman at the State House. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports that the ceremony was before the commencement of the National Economic Council NEC meeting this Thursday. We may bring you details of this report in the course of the bulletin. And in the meantime, the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amuito, has assumed office following his new swearing in by President Tinubu. National Commissioner May Abamuche Mbu, who was in acting capacity, handed over to the new chairman, assuring him of the Commission's commitment to work with him to deliver on the mandate.
The wife come.
I will bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Chairman, Senate Committee on Federal Roads Management Agency, Senator Shaibu Yeo, has urged board and FEMA to think outside the box in tackling the challenge of roads maintenance across the country. This was at the screening of the presidential appointee, Dr. Musa Yahaya, as chairman of the board of FEMA. The committee says Nigerians expect improved service delivery on all projects, as federal government has shown commitment in that regard.
All over the country are in very, very deplorable condition, and they need immediate attention to maintain.
The average lifespan of any asphalted road is 25 years. A lot of them have failed.
During our oversight functions, I would like to take you on what you're going to tell us today.
We shall employ the use of innovation, technology, sustainable collaboration with critical stakeholders, like I mentioned earlier, with the Nigerian Federation.
The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on the Mismanagement of Oil Spill Cleanup Funds in the Niger Delta resolves that the Minister of Environment and the immediate past project coordinator, Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, are for relevant documents regarding allocation, release and disbursement and utilization of funds designated for oil spill remediation in Ogoniland, among other inquiries. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Gunjide reports.
The indicative hearing is a content of the station of project implementation, procurement integrity, payment processes, interagency coordination, and the delivery of promised remediation and restitution to affected communities in the Niger Delta. Recorded Federal Minister of Environment on March 2019 conveyed Federal Executive Council approval to IPREP for the award of contract to remediation of hydrocarbon impacted sites in Ogoniland. The committee is perplexed about the bank statements, award of contracts, companies involved, payment vouchers to contractors, receipts, undocumented spendings, and project sites.
Do you have any undocumented right? We are not comfortable hearing that the Ogoni cleanup exercise, you were considering selective tendering.
The immediate past project coordinator, is he within the country?
I presume so, because like me, he came from the University of Port Harcourt.
Only 5 out of 21 contracts awarded in 2018 required FEC approval, while other 16 contracts fall within the MTB approval or Parastatal Tender Board approval.
We have not submitted any budget to the federal government or to the National Assembly for assessment of undocumented sites. And we have not also received such money.
I have not entered any office. But we are working closely with the ministry.
You asked us to submit the nomination to the board, that to the OTF. That has been signed.
I hereby move a motion that the minister environment should be invited in our next sitting with all relevant documents relating to hybrid.
The summoned authorities are expected to appear before the committee in due course. From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogujide, NT News.
The House of Representatives has called on the federal and state governments to take urgent measures towards regulating arbitrary increase of house rent and undue exploitation of tenants by property owners in parts of the country. Representative Basi Akiba, in a motion, cited examples in the nation's capital, observing that rent in areas with newly constructed roads has skyrocketed from 800,000 naira to as high as 2.5 million naira per annum. Adopting his motion, the House described the situation as unbearable financial burden on tenants, noting that access to affordable, safe and secure accommodation is a fundamental right of citizens.
Protect tenants from exploitation. Mandate the committees on housing and habitat to ensure compliance. I so move.
This motion is referred to the Committee on Housing and Habitat.
There are also 53 communities experiencing humanitarian crisis arising from persistent bandit attacks in Patigi and Edu local government areas of Kwara State.
Mr. Speaker, the House believes that immediate and coordinated humanitarian assistance is urgently required to prevent further hardship and to enable displaced persons to recover and rebuild their livelihood. Urge the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Poverty Alleviation, to urgently provide the relief materials, including food items, temporary shelter.
The House Committee on Refugee, Internally Displaced Persons, as well as Emergency and Disaster Management, were mandated to ensure compliance with the resolution. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Dr. Philip Mjila, Managing Director of Nigeria LNG Limited, on his election as Secretary General of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum at the 27th Ministerial Meeting of the Forum held in Doha, Qatar. The President also congratulates the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Meribe Ekpo, on his emergence as President of the 2026 GECF Ministerial Meeting, a development that will further consolidate Nigeria's leadership in global gas diplomacy. President Tinubu is confident that Dr. Michel Bila and Minister Ekpo will represent Nigeria with distinction and work with other member nations to strengthen cooperation, stability, and inclusivity in the global gas market. The President notes that natural gas remains the cornerstone of Nigeria's industrial growth, energy security, and economic transformation, adding that the country shall remain a dependable voice in advancing equitable energy access and a cleaner energy future. The 38 Bonny Link Road, scheduled to be delivered by December this year, has been shifted to the first quarter of next year to give room for more consolidation on some sections with weaker soil. Minister of Works Dave Umahi disclosed this while also terminating the Port Harcourt-Aba Road project. Robinson Derataide reports.
It has been 8 years since the Ibadan-Bonny Coastal Road was awarded, and its date of completion shifted 2 times, with about 3 times cost variation from 120 billion to 280 billion naira, while cost per kilometer is estimated at 7.4 billion naira. Although all the 13 bridges are at about 90% completion, about 5 kilometers of the road has up to 20-meter weak soil, requiring a sophisticated design that necessitated the shift in the date of delivery from 15th December 2025 to the first quarter of 2026.
By 15th of December, every job in this place should be completed except asphalt on top of these 5 kilometers. So I'm directing the controller by the end of November, go and remove all the barricades, and then we watch, the road for December, January, and February. Timmy will put the asphalt so that we call the president to come and commission.
The incessant rain has really reduced the progress of work, but as you can see, all works are carried on the same time.
On the second carriageway of the redesigned 15-kilometer LMS section of the East-West Road, a flyover and bridge proposed for completion in December this year are at advanced level, while the minister directed that work should commence on the remaining flyovers and bridges to be completed before April next year. Earlier, the minister terminated the 43-kilometer Port Harcourt-Aba Road project handled by CCECC over failure to meet standard specifications. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Daratede, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has inaugurated 10 Renewed Hope Initiative and National Information Technology Development Agency digital learning centers across 10 states of the Federation. At a virtual inauguration ceremony held in her office, she notes with optimism that sustained advancement of digital literacy is driving inclusive growth in the country. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
To the glory of God, I hereby officially commission and hand over 10 NIDA RHL digital learning centers in Umuahia, Abia State.
In one fell swoop, 10 digital learning centers come on stream in Abia, Delta, Edo, Kano, Katsina, Lagos, Nasarawa, Ondo, Yobe, and Zamfara states, expanding the frontiers of youth empowerment and digital inclusion in the country. The virtual inauguration of the centers by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu marks another giant stride in the effort of Renewed Hope Initiative in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, to deepen the adoption and utilization of digital tools by youths across the country.
Today's commissioning presents another opportunity under the mandate of the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy to further expand digital access across the country. By providing communities required to develop ICT skills, thereby empowering our people to participate meaningfully in the digital economy, to accelerate economic diversification through industrialization and digitalization. I urge the members of the various beneficiary communities, especially our youth, to make good use of these facilities to enhance learning, creativity, and entrepreneurship, thereby improving livelihood and contributing to development.
Apart from the 296 centers established under 15 in collaboration with RHI, NITDA is also working to build additional 148 digital infrastructure in other and a total of 592 centers by 2027.
This will empower our citizens over the country to have access to digital infrastructure and services. It signifies an unlocking potential as well as putting our nation on a right track to drive inclusivity for our citizens.
Wives of state governors of benefiting states were in attendance at their respective locations for the virtual inauguration. In the State House, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force has confirmed the arrest of Omoyele Sowore, stating that the action was taken in the interest of justice. Francis Form reports that at a press briefing in Abuja, the force noted that just like the 13 other suspects earlier apprehended and arraigned, Sowore will also be arraigned within 24 hours.
And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple. The 13 people that were arrested previously all gave their statements and constant all of their statements. Every one of them mentioned that Omoyele Sowore led them into the restricted area in contravention of the court order. So it will be most unfair to charge some people to court and leave the person that led them to commit that. Proud to present to you.
Meanwhile, the force also highlighted recent achievements recorded in its sustained onslaught against crime and criminality across the country. According to the force public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team, acting on the IGP's directive to reduce crime to the barest, have arrested a suspected arms supplier to bandits. Efforts, he said, are ongoing to apprehend his accomplices still at large.
So we are proud to say that we have caught the supply chain of bandits with this arrest to some extent.
Hundeyin further disclosed that ongoing strategic operations have continued to yield significant results, including the arrest of notorious suspects, recovery of arms and ammunition, and the dismantling of major criminal networks. Francis Form, NTA News.
All the senior advocates standing for Nnamdi Kanu on his terrorism acts have withdrawn from the case. The announcement was made by the lead counsel, Kanu Agabi, SAN, when making appearance at the commencement of proceeding, where the defendant was expected to open his defense. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports.
Counsel Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, defendant has taken over the matter. Thus, 6 of them who are senior advocates have withdrawn from the trial. When Justice James Omotosho sought confirmation from the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, he concurred with the submission of the senior advocates and proceeded to make oral presentation where he alleged that the court lacks the jurisdiction to try him, having been earlier discharged by the Court of Appeal. Kanu, who alleged violation of his rights, having been kept in solitary confinement, is also alleging that the report tendered by the panel of the Nigerian Medical Association was forged and they did not take his blood sample or conducted any medical examination on him. The prosecution counsel Adegboyega Awomulu, senior advocate of Nigeria, said the submission by the defendant were not rooted in a process or foundation. He said the judgment being referred to by the defendant has been upturned and set aside by the Supreme Court in December 2023 and urged the court to prevail on him to call his witnesses in his defense. In his ruling, Justice James Omotosho said all the issues raised by the defendant were contained in a written address on the no-case submission by Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, which he ruled on in September this year. On the alleged forged medical report by the defendant, Justice James Omotosho held that when the raised any objection, he concluded that the defendant can raise all the issues in his final written address or can still appeal to the Court of Appeal. Justice Omotosho ordered the defendant to enter his defense as he will not entertain any preliminary issues, restating his commitment to accelerated hearing. The court held that the defendant should commence his defense on Friday, 24th October 2025. Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Lagos will be our first port of call on nationwide, and Adeola is standing by to bring up.
Chineye, it is no longer news that road safety issues are usually on the rise during the last 4 months of every year. But what is considered more important is the agency in charge is asking the message of the Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC as it flags up the 2025 Ember Months campaign. Emel Dori reports that the Lagos Sector Commander Kehinde Hamzat also announced that it has surpassed the 10% target set for road traffic crashes reduction for the year. Her report is here presented.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has consistently intensified its advocacy and public awareness on the need for safer road use, especially during the Ember months, marked by increased travels, high volume of traffic, and its attendant rise in road fatalities and injuries. The FRSC identifies human factor as one of the major causes of road crashes, which draws attention to the fact that drivers are largely responsible for accidents on the highways. It's the choice of this year's theme to address road traffic infringements by drivers.
Look at FRSC quality policy statement. The ending part says that with a view to continually improving its mode of operations, our target is to ensure that there is no crash. Even if there is, there won't be death.
The sector commander also reviewed statistics of its records from January to date, which shows a 15.17% reduction in road traffic crashes as compared to 2024. 3,448 driver's license violations, among other road traffic offenses, which he described as commendable.
The total sum that was rejected from members of the public amounted to 849,000 naira. 442 arrested for overloading, and of course, third quarter, we arrested 676.
Commander also hinted at taking drastic measures to increase the number of driver's license and clear the backlog before the second week of November 2025, as the FRSC strives to create a safer motoring environment by embarking on several other programs and partnering with relevant stakeholders to address persistent causes of road crashes, into officers to collectively change road traffic behavior of Nigerians.
Clearance of foreign exchange back unit foreign trade windows, among other stringent policies to absorb economic shocks, have contributed to restoring market confidence and strengthening of the naira, as well as boosting the nation's reserve to about $42 billion for a vibrant, resilient economy. Amaka reports these are.
According to the Apex Bank of Nigeria, the fundamental objectives of monetary policy regulations are to ensure price stability, employment, economic growth, and financial stability. To understand that leadership in monetary policy goes beyond rates and inflation targets to entrenching trust, stability, and collective confidence of varying economic actors who make critical financial decisions.
In central banking, as in life, credibility is the most valuable currency. Leaders of tomorrow must embrace transparency, evidence, and data-driven decision-making. We had to act decisively to rein in inflation with policy aggressively, raising rates by more than 800 basis points and strengthening liquidity.
The recent policies executed by the present administration are strengthening inflation, with the real gross domestic product expanded to 1.2%, signaling growth and stability of the naira.
We cannot, it won't overnight, but it's a mistake for us to think that, oh, it's easing, therefore we can go to sleep. No, we will not do that. Okay. The idea is to ensure that in the medium term, we achieve single-digit inflation.
Monetary policy, the leadership of the Apex Bank also says, cannot be separated from nation system without losing sight of inclusivity and trust. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
We're done with our contributions from Lagos. Nationwide will continue after the break in Benin with Uduakobong Achibong.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, the land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in color, with undying demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we have more than destination. We are Nigeria, strengthening unity, we know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
The Real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution, 500,000 young minds, and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, the city is moving. New voices, heavy drip, all heart. From the streets to the stage, this is the next Afrobeat star.
What are we here for? Let's Afrobeat star. Let's get
And the talents from all over showed up to own the room. All chasing a slot to face the judges. Puffy T, SARS, Andre Vi, E-Pride. Catch next Afrobeat star on...
Welcome to Skill Up Nigeria, Industrial Training Fund's television program celebrating innovation, craftsmanship, and the skilled hands shaping our nation's future. Join us and share in our over 50-year journey of empowering Nigeria's workforce and impacting the nation's human resources. Tune in and connect with experts and skilled workers sharing real stories that inspire. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Skill Up Nigeria, powered by ITF.
Many thanks for staying on. With the commencement of commercial flight operations at the Gateway International Airport, Ogun State government's implementation of a 25-year multimodal transportation plan has begun to attract new investments and boost agricultural exports, among others. Yemi Dalemo has details of the economic potential of the airport described as a legacy.
Behind the airport is to promote economic development in Ogun State, across the length and breadth of Ogun State, and to facilitate job creation, and to also attract investments generally into the state.
It are elements. One, it will drive the economy of the state. Then two, it will also ease the movement of our people rather than go to Lagos.
The Gateway International Agro-Cargo Airport is said to become a hub for aircraft maintenance with a repair facility and flight training school for young pilots and auto engineers, expected to commence operations soon. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
I will now join Yemi Dalemo live from the Gateway International Airport, Iberu, for more on the potential of the infrastructure. Hello, Yemi. Tell us what is new.
Chineye, let me welcome you to Gateway in the airport in Ileshan Remo, sitting on a fan. The airport is a promise that brings up in the economic multiplier effect of this airport is very measurable. For instance, that has been created and also an avenue for travel to state to either.
We seem to be having some audio challenges there linking up with Yemi Dalemo. We'll move on. The passage of the Nigeria Mine Rangers Service Bill, when finally assented to by the President, will address major security issues in the mining industry and boost revenue. Commandant General of the National Unity and Peace Corps Chinedu Nneji stated this at a press briefing in Abuja.
We thank the leadership of the Senate for its swift passage of this bill. The bill is wholly and entirely owned by the National Unity and Peace Corps. We are optimistic that the lower chamber will cooperate with the upper chamber by fast-tracking the process so as to complete the legislative process of this bill in the Assembly. We are very hopeful that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, knowing the importance of Nigerian Mine Rangers Bill, will graciously grant assent for.
The National Unity and Peace Corps has its offices in the 36 states and its headquarters in Abuja. The Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN, says the country has witnessed remarkable investment in renewable energy in the last 2 years, with polarization accelerating deployment of 2 megawatts solar hybrid system in public universities and hospitals across the country. Electricity challenge. In the first phase of the intervention, Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, Kano General Hospital, Bangui, Niger State, Enugu Research Center, University of Abuja, among communities in Benue, Kebbi, Kaduna, Ekiti, and Osun states have benefited, with more institutions listed for the second phase. A statement by the Director General of Dr. Mustafa Abi, his 2 years stewardship, states that the Commission championed key initiatives in renewable energy, sustainable power development, with a number of memoranda of understanding signed for solar mini-grid deployment, with implementation at various stages. The Commission says the newly gazetted National Energy Policy and National Energy Master Plan were launched by the federal government, among other interventions, to ensure coordination of projects and catalyze investment in the renewable energy subsector. Also established is the pilot green hydrogen plant, targeting domestication and localization of green energy in the country, as well as institutional growth in advancing Nigeria's clean energy transition. With many entrepreneurship development centers in colleges of education struggling to deliver on their mandate of producing self-reliant graduates, the National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCE, is taking steps to change the narrative. To this end, the Commission has convened a national workshop on the effective operation of entrepreneurship development centers across the country to strengthen teaching, innovation, and practical skills for job creation. Christiana Akonde reports.
Over the years, entrepreneurship development centers established in colleges of education were envisioned as incubation hubs for creativity. However, many of these centers have struggled to achieve their full potential. Now, the National Commission for Colleges of Education is charting a new direction by bringing together provosts, directors, and education experts to review the existing structure.
For teachers, we're in between skills and knowledge, because you need to raise teachers that will be able to impact the knowledge and skill as well.
We are trying to train them to have this also mindset, because they are the ones to train the younger ones at their schools.
So we have developed a program for Nigeria tertiary institutions, whereby all students will be taught on how to develop their skill.
With these developments, I believe we will look into funding the colleges of education.
The renewed focus is expected to reposition colleges of education in line with the federal government's vocational co-education reform agenda. In Abuja,
we earlier told you that President Bola Tinubu has urged the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Ojo Amubito, to protect and improve on the integrity of the electoral processes in Nigeria for the development of democracy in the country. President Tinubu threw the challenge as he inaugurated the new chairman at the State House. State House correspondent Musbau Dan-Wahab reports that the ceremony was before the commencement of the National Economic Council NEC meeting this Thursday.
And that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Nigeria. So help me God.
Final confirmation following the approval of the National Council of States and subsequent screening and confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. And it becomes even more tantalizing with the presence of the state governors. Professor Joash Ojo Amupito takes up new big shoes as a major player and determinant in sustaining the growth of a 25-year-old Nigerian democracy. But then, President Bola Tinubu believes the new helmsman is as democratic action.
The significant achievement marked the beginning of a challenge level of I therefore charge you, Professor Amukwit, as you take on this important assignment to protect the integrity of our elections and electoral process.
58-year-old professor needs himself and credit actions under his watch.
I was given a clear charge to ensure I'm free. Not just that I will ensure that that is done, I'm also going to engage all the stakeholders, because no matter how you set the barometer and the level of success, you still need all the stakeholders to be able to succeed.
From the new chairman's background, of the son of a headmistress from each local government area, Kogi State has all things bigger. It's in the play of it, and that begins the election next month. From the State House, Musbau.
Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State says the state is on track to becoming Nigeria's scale acquisition hub in the months ahead. The governor made this known during an inspection tour of the ongoing multi-billion naira Garu Road dualization project and the nearly completed fabrication workshop and multi-skills acquisition center in Dutse. Mohammed Musa Askera reports.
Umar Namadi says Jigawa State is setting the pace for youth empowerment and economic transformation, and the signs are already visible. While inspecting the ongoing Garu Road dualization project and multi-billion naira investments in infrastructure, the governor also visited the state-of-the-art multi-skills acquisition center and fabrication workshop and Painting Bay, while finishing touches are currently being made ahead of commissioning. The center boasts multiple sections, including tailoring, hairdressing, ICT, classroom blocks, and an energy conversion wing designed to equip youth with practical skills for the economy.
What we have is really very, very impressive, and I think we're on course. At least we're happy that our youth in Jigawa, both boys and girls, means a very good means of livelihood. With all this in place, I'm sure now Jigawa will be a training center for Northwest, for the northern Nigeria.
With Governor Namadi's vision taking shape, Jigawa State may soon lead the way in redefining skills acquisition and youth empowerment in Nigeria. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Northern leaders of the People's Democratic Party have endorsed Kabiru Turaki, a former Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, as the consensus candidate for the position of the party's national chairman. This was at a meeting in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
It started as a closed-door meeting with prominent Northern PDP leaders before briefing the media of the meeting's resolution.
We have met to deliberate and take decision on the office of the chairman of our great party, the PDP, which was zoned to the north. And in our meeting, we have reflected deeply and widely through consultation and going to Ibadan for our national convention candidate to represent the north and by extension Nigeria as the chairman of the PDP, and that gentleman is KT Turaki, SAN.
Although not stopping any other interested aspirant in the chairmanship race, members promised to reach out to other stakeholders who might not buy into their decision for amicable resolution. The PDP National Convention to elect new National Working Committee leaders is slated for November 15, 2025 in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a break here, and thereafter we'll link up with Uduak Obong in our Benin Network Center for more stories. To stay.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant garden parks, eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
Are you ready? Join us on Reshaping Democracy, a groundbreaking program on the network service of the NTA, where citizens get the chance to ask ministers, heads of ministerial departments, agencies, and other top government officials questions on their performance and delivery of mandates. With no sector of limits, conversations build around bridging communication gaps for feedback and effect as our guests engage with the people they serve.
How does ND foster partnerships with organizations, government agencies, NGOs, among others?
As our leaders give account to citizens' inquiries on good governance in Shaping Democracy, a creative concept coming up every Tuesday evening at 10:05 p.m.
This is Reshaping Democracy.
you for staying tuned. It's still nationwide. Welcome to Benin. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has appealed to other security agencies to ensure that suspects and hard drugs recovered from suspects are promptly handed over to the agency to prevent such drugs from finding its way back to the society. The state commander of NDLEA, Ekiti State, Sunday Aina, made the appeal while parading some suspects apprehended during recent operations and active state. Tayo Shaw reports.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Ekiti State, in a bid to check the cultivation of cannabis sativa in the state and youth addiction, has in the past destroyed several cannabis sativa farms and apprehended suspects. Commander NDLEA Ekiti State, Sunday Aino, while briefing newsmen about their recent achievements, said men and officers stormed the Igbaraudu forest in Igbaraudu, Ekiti, where about 72,500 kilograms of cannabis sativa planted on 29.7 hectares of farmlands were destroyed, and 3 of the laborers, who are teenagers, were apprehended. The commander, who described the use of teenagers on cannabis farms as worrisome, urged parents to take proper care of their children and wards for them to live productive lives free of drugs.
A total of 84 bags of harvested, dry and packaged cannabis sativa waiting for transportation and distribution with a combined weight of 2,316 kilograms were also recovered.
The state commander, who applauded members of the public and other security agencies for their support in ensuring that the state is unconducive for cannabis sativa planters and drug peddlers, restated that the organization is the lead agency in the fight against illicit drug, hence the need for stakeholders to ensure they are duly informed whenever an arrest is made. The commander, who assured that investigation is ongoing to apprehend the real culprits, says suspects will be charged to court after investigations. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Shaw, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has appealed to motorists in Edo State to support and cooperate with the Corps to minimize road crashes across the state during this year's Ember Months. The Sector Commander, FRSC Edo State Sector Command, Corps Commander Cyril Matthew, made the appeal during the flag-off of the 2025 Ember Month Sensitization and Enlightenment Campaign in the state. Jude Abugu reports that the theme for this year's campaign is Take Responsibility, Safety, Stop Distracted Driving.
Ember months are usually characterized by increased vehicular movement and road use, which results in high fatalities in road crashes. Between December 2024 and January 2025, Nigeria recorded 432 deaths and 2,070 injuries from 533 reported cases of road crashes. Presenting the Corps Marshal's message at the official flag-off of the 25 Ember Months Sensitization Campaign, the Sector Commander, Edo State, Corps Commanders, crashes are avoidable are caused by related behaviors.
These violations include the following. A. Failure to adhere to road traffic rules and regulations. B. Speed limit violations. C. Driving under influence of alcohol and drugs. D. Seat belt violations.
The Edo Sector Command will, among other measures, intensify advocacy for safer road use.
Federal Road Safety Corps has mapped out the following actionable measures. A. Deployment of FRC personnel and special marshals across major highways and crash-prone corridors nationwide. B. Free vehicle safety check exercise to improve vehicle road worthiness. C. Conducting motor park rallies and motor car carnivals nationwide to raise awareness level of motorists and the general public.
He sought the support of stakeholders and members of the public to further reduce road crashes during the season. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Chineye in Abuja.
Udwak Obong there in our Benin Network Center. We thank you so much. All health regulatory bodies are to migrate to digital platforms. This is coming from the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, as he unveils the automated National Standing Orders of Practice for community health practitioners in Abuja. Sawa Kali Ibrahim reports.
Nigeria's adoption of digital governance is revolutionizing service delivery. In the health sector, for example, one can sit behind a keyboard or with a mobile device to book a doctor's appointment or consult with a caregiver. Latest to join the trend is the Community Health Practitioners Registration Board of Nigeria. Community health practitioners can now refer to their operational guidelines, apply or renew their license via a digital platform, a bridge between policy and practice.
The National Standing Order remains one of Nigeria's most strategic health policy instruments, a legal and professional framework that empowers community health practitioners to provide standardized, safe and effective clinical intervention at the grassroots level.
The mobile app will not only enhance clinical decision-making for PSC workers, but also support effective, timely, best implementation in terms of patient treatment and guidance.
What we are calling out and what we are going to do is to increase budgetary provision for all these institutes and then increase also oversight, and that we are doing.
Other health agencies are expected to follow suit for effective service delivery. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And up next is Sports Update.
Ahead of including round of it into the Board of Federation area, the Sports Commission on Thursday, through the Electoral Committee, gave aspirants the platform to unveil their manifestos. About 50 aspirants took advantage of the opportunity to showcase their plans and policies, hoping it will be enough to get the needed support at the elective congress of their respective federations.
This is an opportunity for all the candidates to come and touch base with the Sports Commission, with the committee, and with Nigerians.
Nigerians under-17 women's team, the Flamingos, are on the brink of elimination at the 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after suffering a second straight defeat. A narrow 1-0 loss to France on Wednesday in Morocco. The result leaves them at the bottom of Group D with no points and a 5-goal difference. Still, fans in Abuja say there is a slim mathematical chance of progressing, but the team must beat Samoa by at least 5 goals in their final group match to stay alive.
I don't see our chances. I really don't see our chances of qualification, because really, we've shown we can score goals, and if you need 5 to be able to progress to the next round of the tournament, then it's a Herculean task.
Meanwhile, the Super Falcons have intensified training at the Agbadrafo Academy Lome at Friday's 26 fire against Benin. 19 players are now in camp, including Captain Rashidat Ajibade, defenders Osinachi Ohale and Michel Alozie, forward Esther Okoronkwo. Only Rachel Onachukwu arrived against out in Europe. Victor Osimhen shone for Galatasaray in their 3-1 win over Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Liverpool crushed Frankfurt 5, and Chelsea's teenage trio Mark Gui, Estavo and Tyreek George starred in the 5-1 rout of Ajax. Bayern Munich also crushed past Club Brugge 4-0 to extend their unbeaten home run to 36 Champions League matches. For Sports Update, Bright Ibuchu, NTA News.
And that is Nationwide for today. We thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Chinenye Moye. Bye for now.